Hey guys, this is Euphadora. Sounded crazy. This is Euphadora. Euphadora. This is Euphadora. And I'm going to play a game called Two Wars. I'm assuming it's about war. So, please join me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Let us begin. Aha. The group was finally able to rest in what appeared to be a wasteland. It was hard to tell with all the black smoke hanging around from the buildings on fire around them. No wind was available to blow the smell away. It had been a long, hard fight getting here, with the invaders making life increasingly difficult as time passed. Where they came from, no one knew, and few cared. Neither the living, dying, or dead. Tempers were frayed. It had not helped that out of the five, the two self-appointed leaders of this motley crew had not received any orders or communications from any organization, military, or otherwise, for a very long time now. No one knew what was happening elsewhere. For all this group knew, they could well be the last people on Earth. Okay, this is disorienting. Anyways, a chance to rest, even if not relaxing, was always welcome. The leaders, who were mockingly called Gin and Tonic for their closeness and working together, were actually named Cain and April. They were busy debating away from the others. 20, so-called because of her assumed age when joining, was a red-haired young girl, cut short by her own hand, and it did really show. She was agitated, much more than usual, pacing up and down, occasionally looking over to see what Cain and April were talking about. Next was Gamer, a blonde-haired girl, much younger than 20. She received this moniker from her previous love of computer games. She doesn't care for the name much, but can't remember her real name. One of the many charred tree trunks that scattered this waterlogged and muddy area was now her work area. Busy cleaning her tri-barreled assault rifle, which she proudly stated many times, was relieved from a long-dead fighter. The last person in the group was Ryder. He holstered his RKX pistol and sat down on a log, holding his right wrist to stop its shaking. He leant forward and closed his eyes. Cain and April finished their talks and went over to 20 with this doesn't make sense. Went over 20 with their deliberations. I swear this doesn't make sense. She was well used to disagreeing with their ideas, decisions, and judgments, but their latest idea was certainly something that she didn't agree with. Ryder had no interest in Cain and April's discussions or 20's furious response to their announcement. Her ranting and raving over it couldn't be calmed by either of the two she was talking to, despite their experience in keeping her attitude and temper in check. Wanting allies and helping to change Cain and April's decision, 20 walked over to Gamer and tried to get her on side. Ryder knew it was a hopeless case, and as usual, he was correct. 20's temper increased as she was given the bad news. And so, in one final desperate attempt at decision reversal, she walked over to Ryder, stood over him, and pushed his shoulder. He looked up, but at nothing in particular. 20 saw his blue, bloodshot eyes, somewhat dirty face, and unkempt hair. She didn't care much about Ryder at all. No, that was incorrect. She detested him. So, what do you think of those idiots' idea, then? She was waving in Cain and April's general direction, the unprecedented fury in her voice noticeable to all. About what? Ryder didn't look up. He didn't care about anything much anymore. 20 grunted loudly. These people want to give up. They want to turn traitor. April moved quickly over to 20 and grabbed her arm, pulling her back slightly. She hissed quietly, "That is not what we said or meant, and you darn well know it." 20 pulled her arm away from April. "Don't touch me." She resumed talking to Ryder. These traitors want to hole up somewhere, to be held back by April. So, Ryder, what should we do? Ooh, I get to choose, finally. That was a lot of dialogue, and it was exhausting, and it just went so fast that I don't remember any of it. Let's continue fighting, because I like to fight. 20 does have a point. Ha! I knew you... Wait, what? Ryan looked at them all. Who's Ryan? What? 20 does have a point. Anytime these creatures aren't being harassed by someone is a time they can call reinforcements. Or resupply. Or whatever the heck these things do. 20 pursed her lips. She was actually surprised that she had agreement from Ryan. It also pained her to admit that they were in agreement over something as important as this. See, Kane, I'm not the only one who thinks your plan was stupid. I didn't actually say it was stupid, though. Shut up. Ryan just rolled his eyes, rolled his eyes, and continued staring at nothing in particular. Come on, Kane, think again. April, make him change his mind. April just shrugged her shoulders while Kane brought himself to his full height. Bought himself? Is that how height works? You have to buy it now? Not gonna happen. We're in no shape to do much at all. April nodded in agreement. 20 pursed her lips again and frowned. I see. Come on, you must agree that we're not doing too well. We're low on everything. Ammo, food, everything. It'll be lucky if we can survive a week. Is that your final word about this? Yes. Yes, it darn well is. Now sit down, shut up, and have a rest. Well, in that case, 20 undoes the strap of her holster and makes sure no one can see her taking it out. That sort of traitorous talk can only be dealt with in one way. What? You are taking things too far. With that, 20 pulled out her gun and fired first to Kane, dead before he could do anything. April was the next to suffer, following closely by Gamer. Lastly, she turned and slowly walked over to Ryan, crouched down and thrust her gun under his chin. And who do we have left then? Oh, it's my least favorite person in the world. Fancy having the cheek to join this motley band of losers? Ryan just stares at her. I was hoping that perhaps we could sort everything out. 20 smirked. No chance! Not after what happened when we... Ryan looked around at the bodies. Each seemed to be staring at him. Do you think this was all worth it? A furious 20 pushes her gun against Ryan even harder. I think it will be. In the end. No, it won't be! 20 growled and pulled the trigger. A mass of brain and body parts flew all over the place as the remains of Ryan's body flopped onto the ground. 20 stood up and looked around with a maniacal smile. Ha 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 ha. That's my evil laugh. So bad. Oh. 20 looked around and finally realized who had really caused all the problems in the group. She certainly didn't like the answer. She sighs and slowly puts the gun to her own head. Pulled the trigger. Kaboom! The bodies of the group lay on the waste ground for a long time, eventually, like the rest of the human race, decomposing to nothing more than dust and bits of bone. Earth becomes a new home and a new base for the aliens, who are soon eager to continue their genocidal desires. The end. That was the whole game? Can you even call this a game? I'm surprised that there's a load button. There's nothing to do. Ugh, such a long intro, and it's just really fast. So there's 5 people. One of them psycho and killed everyone else and then herself. It's pretty psychotic. Alright, let's go through what the other ending would look like, because I am curious. So we'll skip all that blah blah. Alright, so we chose continue fighting. Now we will choose to rest. And it does seem like a good idea. We aren't in the best of shapes after all. 20 expected this response. She had hoped that it would have been different, but it wasn't to be the case. Cowards! All of you! 20 pointed at Ryder, and her contempt for Ryder, which had grown over the years since their last fateful meeting, increased again. And especially you! Ryder had been the target of her snide, sarcastic comments for however long he had been with the group, and mostly brushed them off with humor or an equally sarcastic reply. He hoped to be able to continue to do so, but she wasn't making things easy. She never did, and his mind and body was having none of it. I just want to go home. ... You what? Look around, you idiot! There are no homes around here. Around anywhere. Oh, I know. Perhaps we could arrange a quick few days off for you if you like. I'm sure these monsters or aliens or whatever the heck they are will be quite willing to oblige. Will that do? 20 smirked. It's time to put you out of your misery. Kane and April, concerned at the recent developments and also wanting to make sure things didn't get worse, moved closer towards 20. It was a wish that wasn't granted. Oh, that things don't get worse. It's like, what wish? What are you talking about? 20 turned to the others again and started berating Ryder for everything she could think of, both real and imagined. April's attempt to stop the barrage of insults and abuse and to calm things down failed as 20 completely ignored her. And at the peak of 20's tirade, she turned to Ryder and ended up with a pistol in her face, gripped by an unsteady hand which belonged to Ryder! 20 returned the favor and brought her weapon to bear on her target with a steady grip that Ryder couldn't manage. Both their weapons were the same RFX double-barreled pistols, capable of single shot or of shooting all the bullets from a cartridge in one fleeting moment. The standard holographical display of the rounds left had long ago been destroyed. April and Kane tried together to calm 20 down, but the latter was in no mood to let things go. She didn't want to listen and had been seeking a way to get rid of Ryder for a long time. And this could be the perfect time to do so. It might even make up for the past, too. So what happened, eh? Gamer just sat on the sidelines, gripped with fear, not knowing what to do. 20 knew Ryder wouldn't shoot her. He was a coward, after all. Oh, being brave, are we? 20 slightly waved her gun around. Ryder's newly found voice contained all resentment that had been building up until this moment and poured out like red-hot lava. I've taken your insults and comments with somewhat good grace, but you've taken things too far. You probably haven't noticed in your rush to kill every little thing on this planet, but recently I've been making mistakes. I've been missing things directly in front of me, hitting things that shouldn't. Hiding things? Hitting? Anyways. If this continues, then either I'll end up... This English is terrible. If this continues, then either I'll end up dead killing you or every human remaining on this planet. That is not something I want on my conscience. 20's initial shock at Ryder being so candid still didn't stop her from launching her own diatribe against Ryder. detailing everything that was wrong with him, everything that he did, and everything he didn't do that she felt was incorrect or a mistake. Ryder didn't say anything or actually see her. Huh? All around Ryder, everyone he once knew started changing. Changing into creatures resembling those Ryder had previously seen, had run from, had killed. The worst was left to last. What 20 transformed into, the sum of every alien invader he had encountered up until his fateful meeting, merged in one hideous creature. The motley assortment of creatures insulted, teased, and voiced, reiterated all of Ryder's mistakes, all demeaned him. Soon all these creatures, the sum of all the dead, into one. Probably summoned from the depths of hell by the devil himself, as far as Ryder knew. Ryder half smiled. So, this is it then. What will Ryder do? Ooh. Let's save real quick, now that we have like more options. So we can see everything. Find peace at last. There was something Ryder had wanted to do for quite a while now. He moved his unsteady gun to his head. It's over. It's all over. Ryder pulled the trigger on his gun. Everyone, with the exception of 20, rushed to Ryan's side, but nothing could be done. What the heck is Bagsy? Bagsy, his gun. Bagsy? What? With Ryder gone, everything became harder than it already was. Days passed with little communication between 20 and the others. Their collective resentment was almost overpowering. Then one night, long after Ryder's suicide, she decided to leave. After all, she didn't need them. The end. Okay. Wow, that 20 is a... I hate her. Like, I hate people that are just angry. And, well, the fact that she killed everyone in the first ending and then insulted this guy until he killed himself. Like, something's very wrong with her. Let's kill her. It's time for the monster problem to be solved, once and for all. Ryder smiled as his gun mechanics whirled up, ready to fire everything in one devastating go. 20 backed away in horror, seeing nothing but darkness in those eyes and a mouth half sneering. Ryder fired. In a coordinated effort, Kane jumped at Ryan, while April dived to 20, pushing her to the ground. Gamer was still rooted to her spot, unable to do anything of use. I've got you all! Ha ha ha! Die! I'm free! Die, die, die! Free! Yes! 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 Ryder's gun flew out of his hand as he was tackled by Kane. Bullets spewed everywhere, firing in all directions. Soon Ryder met darkness as he was knocked unconscious by Kane. The last thing Ryder thought he heard was... that just repeats itself. Was a bit of concern from 20. Congratulations, you made it to the end of Chapter 1. Chapter 2, Wandering, will be coming soon. Okay, so wait a second. That's the only, like, correct ending, then? Is for Ryder to attack everyone and then not succeed? Man, 20, that jerk. I want her to die. Someone kill her, please. What a freaking brat. So, visuals on here are cool. I wish there was some kind of visual for the actual story. I don't mind reading. I like stories. And, you know, it was kind of interesting. It was short. But I wish there was something to look at during it, you know? And then there's the fact that there's a lot of typos. But, you know, that's just... the games I've been playing lately, that's just normal at this point. Just gotta lower my standards a little bit, you know? But it's all good. I hope you enjoyed my dramatic readings of this little story. Have a nice day, and I will see you all later.